Hi everyone, this is again CHUKUMA at Source of Life, 156 Stockwell Road, London, SW9 9TQ. So please, you can go to our website if you want to buy some product online, www.sourceoflifefoods.co.uk. Source of Life Foods together. So I repeat again, you can also buy online at www.sourceoflifefoods.co.uk. You can also uh, subscribe to my Facebook and Instagram page at Louis Mahmoud, Louis, and Mahmoud, Mamode. And as soon as you see me wearing a Louis Vuitton top and a mask, don't hesitate to subscribe. As well, you can go to my um, YouTube application, Source of Life. You can subscribe to Source of Life on YouTube if you want to watch or listen some of my music and listen some of my video and talk around different subjects. So I hope you had a nice weekend and that after all those great lectures that we did last week, especially the two lectures that we did, the two talk that we did on Smile, motivated you and also will help you to be much more happier in life. This week, I wanted to talk about something different, away from well-being and away from health and nutrition. And this gonna even link to the lecture I did on pseudoscience versus science. While I was talking with couples of my friends, I realized that a lot of us don't have no scientific literacy or do not know about scientific methods and why it's important. Living in the 21st century, in 2022, if we don't have a basic understanding of the world around us and how it works, this will be quite difficult for us to move on to the future. So today really, I'm here to motivate not just the people around me, but those who are hearing, and especially young people, right? We're gonna talk about the Higgs boson, right? And explain to listeners or to the listeners what it's about. And I am not an expert in physics or quantum physics, so I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you the Higgs boson via the site which explain it carefully and created the Higgs boson itself. That site is the CERN website, the CERN website. So first, I'd like to give you a little bit of history on the CERN, right? And what it is really. So the name CERN is derived from the acronym for the French Conseil européen pour la recherche nucléaire, or European Council for Nuclear Research. The mandate of European Council for Nuclear Research, a provisional body founded in 1952 with the mandate of establishing a world-class fundamental physics research organizations in Europe. CERN's main focus is particles physics, the study of the fundamental constituent of matter, but the physics program at the laboratory is much broader, ranging from nuclear to high energy physics, from studying studying antimatter to the possible effects of cosmic rays on clouds, right? The headquarters of the CERN, Marin, canton of Geneva, in Switzerland, and obviously I give you what the name CERN means. So why this is important? Because like I said to you, this is where they have experimented the Higgs boson and obviously found this particle, also called by certain people the God particle, but I like to call it only the Higgs boson particle. So here we're going to go into the history, and then we're going to give you a little bit of understanding about really what is the Higgs boson, right? The Brout, so those are the names of the people who were working on this theory. Englert Higgs mechanism. In the 1970s, physicists realized that there are very close ties between two of the four fundamental forces, the weak force and the electromagnetic force. The two forces can be described within the same theory, which form the basis of the Standard Model. This unification implies that electricity, magnetism, light, and some type of radioactivity are all manifestations of a single underlying force known as the electroweak force. The basic equation of the unified theory correctly describes the electroweak force and its associated force carrying particle, namely the photon and the W and Z bosons, except for a major glitch. All these particles emerge without a mass nearly 100 times that of proton. Fortunately, theorists Robert Brout, François Englert, and Peter Higgs made a proposal that was to solve this problem. What we now call the Brout-Englert-Higgs mechanism gives a W and Z when they interact with an invisible field, now called the Higgs field, which pervades the universe, that you can find all around the universe. So, at the CERN, or CERN, on the 4th July 2012, the ATLAS and CMS collaboration presents evidence in the LHC data for a particle consistent with a Higgs boson. The particle link to mechanism proposed in the 1960s to give mass to W, Z, and other particles. An elusive particle. A problem for many years, so now we're going to enter in really the meaning of the Higgs boson, and that's quite interesting. We'll give you a little bit more detail now. An elusive particle, a problem for many years has been that no experiment, I repeat, no experiment. An experiment is fundamental for scientific methods, has observed that the Higgs boson to confirm the theory. So problem for many years has been that no experiment has observed the Higgs boson to confirm the theory. On the 4th of July 2012, the ATLAS, ATLAS, and SMS organizations experiment at CERN's Large Hadron Collider, right, which is that big nuclear engine, I think 27 kilometer, that you can find in the CERN right now in Geneva, Switzerland. So at the CERN's Large Hadron Collider announced they had each observed a new particle in the mass region around 125 GeV. This particle is consistent with Higgs boson, but it will further work to determine whether or not it is the Higgs boson predicted by the standard model. Is the simplest manifestation of broad-angular Higgs mechanism. Other types of Higgs bosons are predicted by other theories that go beyond the standard model. On the 8th of October 2013, the Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded jointly to François Englert and Peter Higgs for the theoretical discovery of a mechanism that contributes to our understanding of the origin of mass of subatomic particles. So I repeat, on the 8th October 2013, the Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded jointly to François Englert and Peter Higgs for the theoretical discovery of a mechanism that contributes to our understanding of the origin of mass of subatomic particles, and which recently was confirmed through the discovery of the predicted fundamental particle by the ATLAS and CMS experiments at CERN's Large Hadron Collider. So what exactly is so special about this particle? It is the first and only elementary scalar particle we have observed. Rebecca Gonzalez Suarez, who as a doctoral student was involved in the SMS search for the Higgs boson. So I repeat, it is the first and only elementary scalar particle we have observed, right? Rebecca Gonzalez Suarez. Let's give you a little bit of details on the boson Higgs. The Higgs field is everywhere. Its omnipresence is what allows the Higgs field. The Higgs field is everywhere. Its omnipresence is what allows the Higgs field to affect all known massive elementary particles in the entire universe. When the universe had just come into being and was extremely hot, its energy density was higher than the energy associated with vacuum expectation value of the Higgs field. As a result, the symmetries of the standard model could hold, allowing particles such as the W and Z to be massless. As the universe started to cool down, the energy density dropped until fractions of a second after the Big Bang. It fell below that of the Higgs field. This resulted in the symmetries being broken and certain particles gain mass. CERN website. Right? So, again, it's really important to know about what's happening in the 21st century within the scientific field. you don't have a lot of revolutions within the last century within the scientific field. We know Einstein with his general relativity, and obviously we've heard of Newton, and before Newton, Galilei and Maxwell laws of gravity. We have also quantum mechanics, which is another era of physics that studies really particles and the universe within a small scale. And obviously, the last great revolution or great facts, theories of facts, is the Higgs boson. And it's very important to understand why, especially when it comes to the origin of the universe, that antimatter and matter are colliding together to create nothingness, and therefore to create matter again. So this is complex, but at the same time, if you start right now by getting your interests within this domain, it will become much more easier after a while, right? You can nowadays, via a simple Google search, find all those informations. I've talked to you about the word ultra-crepidinism, which is a growing Mandela effects in our community, where people talks without no expertise whatsoever, right? And the non-expertise of their opinions are creating sometimes confusion for those who really and sincerely wants to learn. We are at the mercy of individual dictators on social media, or individuals around us in our lives that will dictate to us what to believe around certain subjects like biology, physics, medicines. So we have right now to open our eyes and to do our own research. That's the reason why right now I'm coming on this podcast to help everyone, especially young people, to be able to be more open-minded and not just listens to the little say from friends and family or social medias, but to do some verifications. And I know it takes times. It took times today for me to go a little deeper into the boson Higgs and to explain what it is. I did my own research, and in doing my own research, guess what? I've learned something. Sometimes when you don't know, it's better to say you don't know, instead of creating a situation that you're actually going around a subject and inventing whatever around that subject, made up things. right? That will confuse a lot of us. So please, just stay calm when around you people are being ignorant. And what you can do is to go back home, do a little bit more searching, like me, do a video on what you have found, and don't be conflictual with others. Right? Nobody here are more expert than the expert themselves. I don't have any certificate on physics. However, my sources come from physics itself, come from the CERN Institute, the CERN Institute in Switzerland. So again, everyone, I'd like to thank you for listening. And I know we've been a little bit away from the subject of well-being and health and nutrition. However, this was really fun and it was really important. I hope a lot of young people are going to listen to this program and want to get to know about those great scientific revolutions, right? And how it can change not just your understanding of the world, but how it can change also the entire world by you being inventive and creative, right? And bring progress to the entire humanity. So, again, I will come back to you and let you know when we are doing another talk and discussions or lecture in our shop at Source of Life on 156 Stockwell Road, London, SW9 9TQ. In the meantime, just have fun, stay positive, and remember, do your own research, right? It's important that in this time we can understand scientific literacy, or some of it. None of us, or not all of us, will be able to like or to understand science. We live in a democracy. However, for some of us that will enhance their study, for some of us that will take time to study science, it will encourage others to do the same. Because we have a tendency, especially in our community, young people, to have only few interests around only maybe few people activities, sports, entertainment. Those are the two. What I'm asking you right now is to go a little bit further. The same joy you find within music and the same joy you find in sports, you can find the same joy in studying scientific literacy or science, and study scientific methods too, right? From ancient Egypt to Greece to the Renaissance era and to the modern time which we are living right now. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you appreciate. Every week, I'm going to try to come with a little bit of science, and again to encourage everyone, right, to have more appetite in this domain. I love you all. Sincerely yours, Thank you very much. Your brother, Chukuma. Peace and well being.